Hi, my name is Destiny Banks, and this is my midterm PowerPoint presentation on Caring Science by Gene Watson. Watson's Caring Science was developed by Gene Watson, and the thought process behind this theory is the inclusion of all characteristics of humanity, including spirit, whatever sacred to the patient, love, consciousness, and a sense of caring. In order to refine and develop these characteristics, Gene Watson developed the Caritas processes. And through this ideology that accepts the phenomena outside the physical realm, she also coined the term transformative paradigmatic thinking. Gene Watson developed 10 Caritas processes, each of which are able to help develop these characteristics in order to better the care and create a wholeness in the healing process of mind, body, and spirit, not just the body. This type of care is called transpersonal care. Now, this type of care is defined by a specific moment in time that is shared between the nurse and the person receiving the care. This is a moment where each party makes a conscious decision and it becomes a profound shared moment between the nurse and the patient. As a result, the nurse and her patient or his patient will actually feel a spiritual connection transcending time and space. This allows for a profound connection that is unmatched by any physical interaction, although physical touch is a huge part of care and therapeutic interactions within the nursing field. Now, Gene Watson got her theory from another, or helped develop her theory through another theory called the Unitary Caring Science theory. This theory is, the research done through this theory is reflective, subjective, and interpretive, as well as objective, empirical. So this means that not only do they do evidence-based research, but they also theorize and hypothesize and work through philosophy. Leading to my next point, which unitary caring science also involves philosophy, ontology, spirituality, and ethics, and those help to guide the theory of unitary caring science theory. This theory is also closely related to that of Martha Rogers, who came up with the theory of unitary human beings. Rogers' theory of unitary human beings focuses on the uniqueness of nursing. It goes into, as well as Gene Watson's, about how not only is nursing a science, but it's also an art form. I can't disagree with that, because I feel like every day on the floor, it doesn't matter what personal problems we might be experiencing, what's going on at home, in work, outside of work, we're there for our patients, and we are able to create a therapeutic environment for them and focus on their care and individualize it to each person. Whereas, as we were discussing before, this includes different spiritualities and creeds and etc. Rogers' theory illustrates the purpose of nursing as the health of all people, no matter who they are, where they're from, or what background they have. It was viewed as abstract, as most theories are at first, and it was actually greatly influenced by the arts. Now, from a scientific perspective, we use evidence-based practice to determine through research what works and what doesn't work within the nursing field from a medical perspective. And as an art, we're able to, like I was saying in the previous slide, creatively help our patients and individualize their care to make it effective per patient. With Rogers' theory, we are able to assess the total pattern of events at any given point in time, and the simultaneous states of the patient and their environment, rhythms of the life process, supplementary data, categorical disease entities, subsystem pathology, and pattern appraisal all come together to help us develop proper care, individualized care for each patient. Now, through the patterning of the human and environmental fields, we need to share knowledge, which also helps to include the patient in their care plan. We need to offer choices. When I was in the nursing program, I was explained that, not in a rude way, patients are kind of like children. You need to offer them choices because they've lost their sense of control, which is even harder for adults because children never had control to begin with. Well, with an adult who previously had control over their situation, now they're in a situation where they feel like they lost all control. Offering choices could make a huge difference to them. It empowers the patient. And by fostering patterning, you're also providing a sense of normalcy. All of these bullet points help to define the relationship and increase the healing process mentally, emotionally, and physically for the patient. Now, some of my thoughts on the matter. First of all, it seems as though caring science has transformed into a theory that is akin to a spiritual belief in its own. It's almost like a combination of several spiritual beliefs, and it hones it down to a caring science. It provides a depth and an acceptance that there is more to this life, and we don't know very much about it, as much as we theorize and hypothesize. And I like that it's not exclusive, that it does allow room for all religions and all beliefs, and it almost unifies them, showing even less of a difference from person to person than what there actually is perceived to be currently. And now down to the Caritas process that I chose, being open. In order to fully achieve the intended goal for caring science, the last Caritas is the most prominent, being open. Like I said in the previous screen, several people, everybody has a different belief or spiritual system. Caring for people from all backgrounds and all walks of life makes it necessary for a nurse to keep an open mind and heart. Nursing goes beyond science and is an art of its own because of how we are able to navigate the different people and different situations we deal with every day. Now, open is basically keeping an open mind to the unknown and allowing for the possibility of miracles. And I really appreciate that one because allowing for the possibility of miracles speaks volumes to anybody working in a scientific field where we might be keen on being more black and white and scientific when there's more to it than that. So the hospital that I currently work at does a lot of sex reassignment surgeries, and I actually had a patient who transitioned from male to female. And she told me that in her community, it's actually a little bit more difficult for male to female because there are some obvious physical differences, maybe broader chins, broader shoulders. Sometimes, even though there are therapies to help with all of this, a deeper voice, etc. And she told me that she really appreciates my hospital because of the open-mindedness of the people who work there. For me, that really resonated with me because there are so many people who are treated differently based off of the personal biases of the care provider. And within this field, I feel like it's wrong. You know, we're here to help this person regardless of whether or not we agree. And I think that this is a perfect example of being open and having an open mind and open heart. I think that another good example of being open is being open to others' beliefs and how it might help them through the grieving process. I had a patient who was diagnosed with colon cancer and rapidly declined, and his family didn't have the time to wrap their brains around what was going on. And although they had a different belief system than I do, I was able to cater to their needs. And although neither of these examples touch on a miracle, I still would say that I am pretty open to miracles, the possibility of miracles. So this concludes my midterm presentation, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks. Bye.